you are.
It's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, so why stop? Well, you do stupid things when you're drunk. You hurt yourself. You compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it's pretty fun. Yeah. Well, it is. But you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes. It's like that's all prohibition in some sense. What's better is no, you need an adventure.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, why do people drink too much? Well, because it's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you hurt yourself, you compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, well, it is. But you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes. It's like that's all prohibition in some sense. What's better is no, you need an adventure, man. You need to get out there and have something to do.
Yeah.
And something worth waking up for. And that's the substitute for the addiction.
Welcome to Recovering Addict. I'm LT and I'm an alcoholic addict.
I'm Felice and married to this handsome fella right here.
How is everybody today? We were having some internet troubles here. I don't know what the problem is, but it always happens 2 seconds before the show starts. But today we are going through our book, Staying Sober. We're back on track, going through our chapter 1. We're going to jump right into this. What do you all know about post-acute withdrawal syndrome? What do you all know about dry drunk syndrome? What do you all know about the possibility of relapse due to the What are the signs? How do we start seeing what relapse is? Another question, is relapse the act of using substances after abstaining from while, or is relapse when you live your life mentally says, I think it's Jeanette. If you're under 2 years sober, you're still new, and I agree with that. What have you experienced? Say your first 2 years, if you've made it that far, are some symptoms that you've experienced from addiction, whether it be habitual mindset, physical withdrawal, maybe memory loss. Maybe it's fogginess. Maybe it's hard time sleeping, restless legs. And this can happen 2-3 years into your recovery. Definitely depend. What? We out?
Can't hear anything but static. Oh. Can you guys hear me?
No,
Or
okay.
are we plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
ghost in the machine. Better.
Hello,
Somebody
ghost
said
in the-
better.
It was Link. Testing 1, 2. Better now. We did nothing different. Maybe
Is the internet turned on?
I hope I don't have to say all that again. My goodness.
What part did you guys miss?
Yeah, where was I? What was the last thing you heard? So we were having some internet problems. I had to freaking drag the modem over here, plug it in, and it shut off during that. So I was trying to run the live stream as a hotspot off my phone. In the meantime, I'm gonna shut the Wi-Fi off. I'm probably
We're there, but now we're there 2 times. Now we're there 3 times.
There we go.
Take 2, LT.
That's Brad. Freaking Brad's backstage. That's cool though.
But it has like, look at mine. He just renamed you as Brad.
What the hell?
You know how you can go in and change. Like,
What the hell?
Here. What do you want it to say?
Take 2. All right, welcome to Recovering Addict. We are starting a book called Staying Sober by Terence Gorski. Now I'm trying to swallow my anger. My character defects are starting to boil. Oh boy, it's happening. Y'all, I'm turning green.
Oh, Nicole said, when we didn't hear a word, I heard pause and then it went out.
Shit.
We're just going to turn it off and start all over again.
Serenity prayer. We're out of here.
Good night, guys.
My goodness, it sucked. Anyway.
Steph said, the last thing I heard was, I'm LT.
Jeez.
Well, you got the most
Well, I'm going to let
part.
you say hi to everybody. I'm just going to go over here and calm down for a minute.
Woo-saw. Well, we have Brad, winner, chicken dinner, always winning. Okay. Second is Cherie. What is up? Eager Beavers. Eager Beavers.
Eager Beavis.
By default, Cherie is first. Do I concur? Maybe. What's up, Raylene? Glad you're here. All is good now. Meh. I've been off. It's been an off day for me. Not feeling well. Called into work, but I'm here. Very cool. Freddie D.
Freddie D, what's up?
What's up, Freddie D? What's up, Marilyn? What's up, Rachel? New here. Glad you're here.
Oh, Rachel, sorry for the
Hope you're still
inconvenience.
here.
Hope you're still here. My goodness, we don't have technical difficulties very often, but you go live every couple days and you're going to experience some problems. And that's just exactly what we did.
What is up, Nicole? Thanks for the heads up, everybody. I should have been looking at my comments.
If you are
Yeesh.
still here, Rachel, please say hello again, and I will let you know everything we got going on. Hi, Mommy.
Hey, Grandma T, what is this? Add.
That was
Do
me.
your math.
Make sure you guys are doing math.
What's up, Mark? Or put an ad out there
Mercalicious
for
in
us.
the house.
Share squad. Do that.
Yeah, do that.
Lish, hello.
Do that whole
mic
like
check,
thing
mic
and all
check,
that
mic check.
stuff.
Really static.
Oh, cool. Rachel's still here.
Hello.
So Rachel says, I'm here. Cool, Rachel. Well,
Hey.
this is a recovering addict. I'm LT. And this is my wife, Felice. I was an active alcoholic in my early 20s. I was a meth addict. I got all the stories to back it up. I've got felonies to prove it. I went through a couple IOPs, had to detox. In the early 2020, I decided to start niching down. I've always been into videography and film and stuff like that, just as a hobby, just for fun, you know, like family trips and stuff. And I decided to niche down after getting sober and learning a lot about recovery. And I just started making 10-minute videos. COVID hit into March, early April, and Felice and I decided to go live every night because AA and NA were shut down. And things are all different now still. We went live for close to 130. I think we missed a couple days in a row. And this community grew. And now we are a community. We live stream dedicated 3 nights a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. Sundays and Tuesdays, you'll see my wife and I. On Thursdays, you will see Jake, Savage Trainer. And he's starting to do daily live streams. I'm going to be starting to do. So there's going to be constant live streams and education and motivation. On top of that, we have a Discord. And in the Discord is where you can really get to know the community and have 24-hour support. On top of that, we have 12-step crash course meetings, classes every Monday and Wednesday at noon. And every single day at 1 o'clock, we have a recovery Zoom meeting. Sometimes there's a lot of people there. Sometimes there's not. But we get together and we talk about addiction support. And we got people all over the country, all over the world. And it's funny because addiction affects everybody the same. People in South Africa, India, the UK, Australia, and we got friends all over the place that are like that. I'm really glad you're here. She says, I came across your channel because I had lied to my husband about doing NA group online. I went out to our garage to get high. Just got on YouTube to play something so my husband could hear.
You're welcome. Just kidding.
It's not awesome. I don't condone.
That's pretty
But
funny.
that makes for a great story. On the other side, I ended up listening to your whole video and started crying because I want to change. Praise God.
Very cool.
That is so cool, Rachel. What cool stories, man. That is. And we got many stories like that pop out of this community. That's why you never know. I mean, just be a part of something. Even if you don't know what you're saying is affecting somebody, it probably is. And years later, you may run into somebody and be like, hey, man, I changed because of you that day. Thank you for being here, Rachel. That gives me a lot of encouragement and strength. Yeah, we're here for you. We know exactly how you feel. We know exactly what you're going through. Everybody in this chat, everybody you see right in front of you has been there, done that.
Yeah.
We've lied. We've pretended. I've tried to do the AA thing and got drunk just immediately. I mean, we got people suffering all over the world, various addictions. Some people are meth addicts. I was way back in the day. Some people are alcoholics. I became an alcoholic. Some people are heroin. Some people are Molly. Some people are K2. You know, addiction's addiction. We got gambling addiction, sex addiction, porn addiction, like addiction, right? The end of the day, we're chasing dopamine, and that's what we're here to fix. And that's why we're going through this book right now called Staying Sober. You get clean, you go through the 12 steps, and now what?
Very cool.
Yeah.
And invite your husband to watch too.
Yeah, and that's
what I'm
kind of
here
the
for.
dichotomy of our channel, is that my wife had to live with me when I was an addict, you know, so she had the whole codependency, the co-addiction type thing creeping up on her, and enabling and all that. We both had to learn a lot of things about addiction, and it affected our family for 5 years heavily. You know, our son was in a severe accident in 2017, which, you know, justified my drinking to real dark places. And we came out of it, man. If we can, you all can too, you know. Alan Hoffa, glad y'all here.
AKA, we all have problems. There's broken
AKA,
people
we all
helping broken
have
people.
problems.
Yeah, Teeter posted this like 3 times. He really needs to apologize to you and Jake.
I saw my phone rang, or was it that? I don't know. I don't remember 7 a.m. today.
See, all good. I don't even remember, Teeter.
All right. So it has been known for a long time with people, right? Let's get into the book. It has long been known that people with addictive disease experience abnormal reactions, not only to the use of the addictive chemical, but to not using it as well. Meaning, we get a chemical going into our body and habitually take it to change and alter our mind and our mood for who knows how long, 6 months to 20 years, right? The more you use, the worse this type of stuff we're going to talk about is going to be. When most people think of addictive disease, they think not only of the symptoms that occur while somebody is actively involved in addiction, but also they are not aware that there are symptoms that emerge with abstinence. And that's what I went on about with, you guys heard nothing but static. What have you experienced in your life, in your recovery, you know, 2 years and under, even up to 3 years and under? You're going to experience your body trying to heal and get back to normal. You may experience sleeplessness. I have foggy brain. You just like the wires aren't connecting right, you know, weight gain, irritability. Like, what are some things that you've experienced that could be related to this chemical being pulled out of your body and your body going through a healing process? Because that understanding that, being educated on that, is going to help you succeed on top of all the tools we learn and the 12 steps and everything else, right? These sobriety-based symptoms can be reactivated at any time during recovery. We're going to describe some of these symptoms in detail in the chapter on post-acute withdrawal. Then we will describe management techniques that will help you lower the risk of experiencing post-acute withdrawal. So it's good to be aware of it so that you can understand when you're having it. And then we're going to learn some techniques to help us get through it a little easier. You like that, Steph? Man in Black. I haven't worn this shirt for a while.
Hey, Hump. Hey, Morgan.
Humpin' Morgan.
Congrats,
How's it going?
Josh. Picked up
Family.
18 months on Saturday.
Nice, brother. That's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
I found my mind and spirit has been most difficult. Did you start the segment off with dry drunk?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about dry drunk syndrome here in a minute.
I was just curious. We'll get back to it.
We're actually headed right towards it. This is going to be pretty much what this whole topic of tonight is about, is the dry drunk syndrome. And he's going to describe it as something else, but we will definitely get there. If you're watching and you are from Utah, you are here locally, I just want you to know every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to meet at some trails. I'll post them on the Discord, or you can hit me up and ask where we're at. And we're going to go hiking. Okay. About a 2-hour hike, 1 hour up, 1.5 hours up, maybe half hour down. It's always faster going down. When we get to the top, we're going to start a live stream. You don't have to be in it, but we're going to read some recovery content and chit chat. And then we're going to hike back down. We're going to take Sundays as a day of reset, reschedule, reset our day, get rid of the last week and gain strength for the next to come. We're going to start taking care of our spiritual condition every Sunday at 10. And if you are here locally, you are invited to join us. And if you're not here locally and you want to fly in, that'd be awesome too.
Page from Maryland.
33.
And let's all welcome Marcus back to the group.
Marcus,
Welcome back, Marcus. Give us an update.
Give us an update, brother. Last time, Marcus, you came on here and you were saying, I'm in a gutter at this exact moment, literally. So
I know you're out of the gutter.
My mom. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. And the flames went higher.
And copyright.
And I burn.
The ring of fire.
I'm so out of shape, but my kids would love to go hiking. My kids would love your kids to go hiking. This whole family right here that you're looking at, out of shape. Every single one of us. We got spare tires.
I'm round. I'm shape.
We look like avocados when we stand up.
More like a pear.
Is that a giant avocado with a shirt on?
People ask me all the time if I'm pregnant.
So what we're doing, Morgan, is we kind of have a plan throughout every Sunday is to take it easy, but go on a little bit steeper hikes each month too, so we can get a little stronger as we go. Next Sunday, I'm thinking Adams Canyon or something, but we'll see. And I'll make sure everybody knows.
You're too funny. I'm too old and fat to hike. You're never too old and fat to hike. Sheree, do it. Do it now.
Yes. Man, I wish you really would. So to understand and prevent relapse, it is also necessary to understand the recovery process and what happens when recovery is incomplete. We call this partial recovery. Okay, remember that. When your recovery process is incomplete, we're calling this recovery is incomplete, right? We call this partial recovery. We're going to describe the normal process of recovery, take a look at what sometimes happens to block complete recovery from occurring. Okay, we're on that. Like sometimes I've heard people say, even Brad said that the other day, a while back, but he brought it up today. I just don't feel like recovery. I don't feel like going to the meetings. I don't want to go use and drink or nothing like that, but I don't feel like recovery. Partial recovery. What's blocking that next step to gain, like what Dr. Peterson said at the beginning of the show, and I really hope you guys heard that. I dropped it in the Discord if you didn't. But what's given us passion to wake up in the morning and press forward in a recovery, something to live for type thing.
My avocado-shaped body.
We're going to describe the normal process of recovery and take a look at what sometimes happens to block complete recovery from occurring. There are mistaken beliefs about relapse that we all will explore with you. I remember this guy's a doctor, right? Dr. Terence Gorski. He is a doctor from back in the 70s who was his first assignment was high potential relapse people that were relapsing all the time. He thought he was going to go work with the newbies, and they're like, no, you go work with the guys that know AA and recovery better than you, but they can't quit relapsing. And so he took it as a challenge. He designed a whole different approach to these guys because they already knew all this stuff. He's like, well, how do we get it to kick in? And so he set up group therapy meetings and communication skills and focused on relapse prevention and wrote this book about it. And that's really what Recovering Addict wants to push hard is relapse prevention. We want to provide all the tools and everything in between. On the backside, we want to be able to continue that with you. This is a lifelong process. We just don't do a 90-day program and okay, we're done. We walk off back to the world like nothing happened. We have to continue down this path, and that's the path we want to help guide in. So the mistaken beliefs about relapse can increase the risk that relapse will occur. Mistaken beliefs can increase risk of relapse occurring. Changing some of these beliefs will allow you to change behaviors that lead to relapse. Most people think of using addictive chemicals when they think of relapse, right? Okay, first thought when you ask new people that maybe not have read this book, what's a relapse? Drinking. What's a relapse? Popping pills. What's a relapse? Smoking meth. You know, that would be using the chemical is their definition of relapse. He says, certainly addictive use is a relapse, but because of research in recent years, more people are recognizing that the process of relapse begins before addictive use starts.
Tongue twister.
Relapse, what? Say that again? What was he saying? Before I took the drugs or drank, relapse was already occurring? What? People can become dysfunctional in sobriety without drinking or using. They can lose control of judgment and behavior. They can develop emotional problems and physical problems. They may become dysfunctional in sobriety before they begin addictive use or instead of addictive use. Smash that like button, ring that bell. Thank you, Teeter, for the tell. I just made that up.
Pretty good. It's because he's got a Johnny Cash shirt on.
My daughter's 9 years old. Where is she?
She's out playing at the park.
She's outside at the park.
And Lish says here, Adam's Canyon was good. Hit that like. Freddie says some put way too much thought into relapse prevention. Some just think way too much about drugs and drinking. Get it out of your head, and then it would not matter anymore.
Interesting.
Thoughts?
That's interesting. I mean, that probably works for Freddie. You know, that's probably like we talk about recovery being.
Again.
Oh my god! Why?
I don't know. Can you guys hear? Do we bump something? Is that better?
It's not the audio. I don't know.
Yay! Morgan's girl turns 8 on Friday.
Sweet. All right, so back to Freddie's comment. Recovery is subjective. You know, people all recover differently. We all have the same goal, a happy life and sobriety, right? Some people can achieve it by kind of like that mind over matter type stuff. Stop thinking about it. You guys are thinking about it way too much. Go think about other things, and that's going to work. That probably worked for Freddie. That may not work for somebody else. So we're going to research and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Steph. She says better.
I don't know what I
going
did.
in and out, I guess. Rachel says, so pretty much your thoughts is where relapse begins.
Amen to that. I believe so. We're going to look at that.
Stay out of high risk situations.
Stay out of high risk situations. The process of relapse goes beyond traditional idea of relapse as alcohol or drug use to the understanding that the relapse process includes attitudes and behaviors that lead to active addictive using. So add attitudes and behaviors, which are up here in our mind, right? The relapse process is the movement away from recovery. Okay. Right now we're all on the road to recovery. We're listening to education. We're working our program. We're thinking about how we can do our 10-step inventory. You know, we may probably hit a meeting today. We're working on ourselves. We're staying in recovery. Now you start moving away from this path. It says the relapse process is the movement away from recovery, but this does not mean that you have hit a rough spot in recovery or you are experiencing some pain and struggling in recovery. You are relapsing. It means that if in general, let me reread that to make it clear. This doesn't mean that if you hit a rough spot in recovery or you're experiencing pain and struggling, that does not mean you're relapsing. He says it means that if in general, you are not doing the things that contribute to the process of recovery, you may be unconsciously moving in the direction of relapse. And we go back to the big book and look at what Bill says about inventory, right? Look at your day today. Did the things you actively activated in today help your life? Did the things you actively thought and did with your mind help your life? If it did, continue to do that. If it did not, get rid of those things. If you are stuck in partial recovery, you are in high risk of relapse. Recovery from addictive disease starts with accepting. This is a question I want to ask everybody. Has everybody accepted this in here? This is subjective. You don't have to put it in the comments, but ask yourself, if you're here listening, you obviously have some problem with drugs. Recovery from addictive disease starts with accepting the fact that you cannot safely use alcohol or mood altering drugs. Me? That's why when people say, hey, LT, what do you think about marijuana? Honestly, I love it. You know, as an addict, I'm going to say I love it. But as a guy in recovery, I've accepted the fact that I cannot safely consume alcohol or mood altering drugs. I'd love to be able to smoke pot once a month and not worry about it, right? But that's not me. I cannot safely do that. If I start smoking weed, it's going to turn into a daily habit. And then the daily habit will be like, oh, I'm not high enough. You know, I better go get some whiskey and put on top of it this weekend. And then it just snowballs. And then before I know it, I'm drinking a fifth of whiskey at night. Recovery from addictive disease starts with accepting the fact that you cannot safely use alcohol or mood altering drugs. But just knowing the addictive chemicals are not harmful is enough. You must stop using them. Not using addictive chemicals is abstinence. But abstinence alone is not enough. Abstinence simply allows the recovery process to begin. It is the means to an end, the means to normal living. Learning to live normally without addictive use requires more than abstinence.
I'm going to answer Freddie's question. Well, if a person has not had a drink of alcohol in 10 years and he or she drank 6-ounce beer, would that be called? What would that be called? Is that called a relapse?
The big book talks about average temperate drinkers. And then if you take the world as a whole, 90% of the people in the world have experienced or drank or played with drugs at some point and never became an addict, right? We're talking about this 10% of people. If a person hasn't drank for 10 years and drinks beer, this person could be an average temperate drinker, a normie, we call them, right? And they can handle a drink and move on, and their life is, they're on a totally different world, right? Me, I'm not going to be able to drink 6 ounces, especially if it's a 12-ounce beer, and leave the other 6 just sitting on the table. I'll have to finish that beer. Then the alcohol, the allergy is going to consume me, and then I'm going to look and have a 6-pack left and be like, well, there's 5 more. That's not an even number. I better drink it. You know, so and then boom, 6-pack's gone. I'm feeling good. And then I'll do it again tomorrow because that last night felt good. And then the 6-pack's not enough. I need a 12-pack. And then beer doesn't cut it. And then I need whiskey. That's the type of person people we're talking about. We're not talking about average temperate drinkers who can go 10 years and have a drink of beer. Totally different people. Know what I mean, Vern? It is necessary to correct the physical, psychological, and social damage to health caused by the addiction. It is also necessary to learn to live a healthy and productive life without the need for alcohol or other drugs or addictive behavior. I love that. It is necessary to learn to live a healthy, productive life without the need for alcohol or other drugs or the addictive behavior. Okay, you got alcohol and drugs, but also you have to learn to live without that addictive behavior. And we learned a lot in those books, Addictive Thinking and Addictive Personality, of to what nature we've built into ourselves of this habitual use, right? Relapse and recovery are intimately related. You cannot experience recovery from addiction without experiencing a tendency toward relapse. Relapse tendencies are normal, natural part of recovery process. They are nothing to be ashamed of. So if you're in recovery, all of a sudden you have this desire to use, all of a sudden you catch yourself with your character defects, you walk past the beer aisle or whatever, right? It's okay. Those types of emotions and feelings towards addiction are a normal part of recovery. Don't be ashamed. They need to be dealt with openly and honestly. If they are not, they will grow stronger. Relapse tendencies are a lot like poisonous mushrooms or mold. They grow best in the darkness. The light of clear, accurate thinking tends to kill relapse tendency very quickly. Anything?
Nope, just welcome, Desmond.
Good day, mate.
Good day, sir. And good for you, Mr. Teeter. Said he was invited to a bachelor party from a friend. but is declining because he does not want to be in an environment of drinking.
That's good.
Very, very good.
Not going to miss much, I imagine. When the sobriety-based symptoms of addiction become severe enough, a person begins to become dysfunctional. Okay? When the sobriety-based symptoms of addiction become severe enough, sobriety-based symptoms. You're sober, you're not using, right? Sobriety-based symptoms of addiction become severe enough. A person begins to become dysfunctional, even though they are not drinking or using. Okay? Now we're lapsing into this mindset of the dry drunk, right? In AA, these episodes of dysfunction are known as dry drunks. But in this book, he's going to refer to dry drunks as relapse syndrome. He's not calling it dry drunks. He's calling it relapse syndrome. When these symptoms of relapse syndrome make life painful enough, many alcoholics choose to drink or use drugs to gain temporary relief from those pains. So these symptoms occur, you're sober, and you decide to use or drink to give yourself relief from this type of pain, right? Others do not drink, but they develop serious life and health problems related to this. And we've heard the stories of people saying, I liked him better when he was drinking. Now he's even more of a jerk, type of thing, right?
Steph says, how do you live without an addictive behavior? Is my question. Is that possible? And if so, how?
Right? Learning lots of tools, becoming very wise, and practice would be my suggestion. And when you find out, let me know. What's Freddie saying now? Go ahead.
If somebody sat me down at a table and put 2 shots of vodka in front of me and said, if you drink only 1 shot of vodka and not the other shot of vodka, I will give you $1 million. Could you do it, Freddie D?
Of course. That's a totally different story. In that moment, you would have the willpower to gain the $1 million because we learned in that addictive thinking book about escaping addiction. So now we take that drink of alcohol because you look at it like a scale, right? I get more pleasure over here. I'm going to go that way. Bink. If I get more pain, I'm going to go that, to avoid the pain that's that way, I'm going to go towards the pleasure, and the pleasure is the alcohol. In that instance, the $1 million is going to be that, and the alcohol is up there. I don't care about the alcohol. I would rather have the $1 million.
Then I could go buy more.
Yeah, then you go buy more.
And a yacht. He says, I know for a fact they would not drink the other shot.
Me too.
For $1 million.
For $1 million? Come on now. Come on now.
Happy Bobby from Friends. I don't know what that means, Alan. Happy Bobby.
Happy Bobby from Friends.
Happy Bobby.
Happy Bobby. Bobby.
Maybe. Is $1 million worth it? Ask yourself that.
Hell yeah. All right. Are you wondering, hey, am I experiencing dry drunk syndrome? Is that what's going on in my head? So someone who suffers from dry drunk syndrome may experience this, right? This is maybe, let me look. So as I read through some of these things, say, is this me? Am I a dry drunk? Someone who is suffering from dry drunk syndrome may hold on to resentments or anger. They may feel superior to others or struggle with ego. Conversely, they may have feelings of inferiority or not being good enough. Regularly compare themselves and their recovery to others. They may lash out emotionally, display angry outbursts, or experience mood swings that are unrelated to mood disorder. Engage in compulsive behaviors or non-substance related addictions like sex addiction, gambling addiction, or binge eating. Become emotionally or physically abusive to family, friends, and those around them. They may lie or manipulate, may feel empty or unfulfilled, isolate themselves from family or friends, engage in high-risk behaviors. Adrenaline junkies, maybe, huh? I don't know.
Or maybe being at the bar and stuff,
Yeah.
thinking they're all good, but they're
False pride. Deny, minimize, or rationalize their addiction. Deny, minimize, or rationalize their addiction. Fantasize about drinking or using drugs or experiencing a return of the obsession to use substances. Display disappropriate reaction to life events, such as overreacting to minor inconveniences or not experiencing any emotional reaction to intense experiences. I wonder if I did that, because that day that the lady fell down the stairs at Dallas, everybody started freaking out, and I'm just holding my luggage like, seriously? How about reminiscing of the good times of their drug use and drinking and forget about the tragic consequences? You just start hashing it up. And, oh, man, this one time. And then instead of looking at the actual consequences of their addiction. Stop regularly attending 12-step meetings, support groups, therapy, doctor's appointments, or other recommended activities. Struggle to relate to others in recovery. You're having a struggle relating. Develop destructive coping mechanisms like self-harm. You fail to treat mental illness like eating disorders, which can be physically and emotionally harmful. You refuse to admit or to recognize their behavior and the impact it has on themselves, their family, and their relationships. Anybody experienced that? I have.
My interpretation of a dry drunk is when you don't drink or use, but you change nothing else in your life and are usually miserable and hateful.
Word.
I know dry drunk all too well. And they would rather have that $1 million than a shot of vodka. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Freddie, you may just be a temperate drinker. I don't know your history, though.
For me, I work my recovery 24/7, even for me, what I am going through at the moment, and I haven't thought of drugs or alcohol. Good job, Des. It's probably keeping you a little bit more sane, too, working the right program. Merc says, don't ask me how I know. Merc, you was a dry drunk half your life, probably, huh? Right on, Felice.
Left on.
Right on. So those symptoms we just talked about, is it possible to interrupt that? To interrupt the relapse syndrome before serious consequences occur by bringing the warning signs of relapse you are experiencing into conscious awareness? So by bringing all that stuff you're experiencing, if this is you, if like some of those stuffs we're talking about, you bring that into a conscious awareness. Is it possible to interrupt them before the serious consequences of using takes place? What do you think? Is it possible?
Oh, good job, Christopher. It says, think that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to fill that void, like mirror quotes, with positive activities.
That's healthy. That's good. You want to replace it with healthy things. That's good.
Or definitely sure. Yes. Yep. Des is awesome.
Yes, he is. This is a relapse prevention planning. So that's what we're going to look at. As we start going through this, that's the end of chapter 1. But as we start going through this, we're going to look how to prevent these things from happening. And when they rise, we're going to be able to recognize them. That's what we want to do. So if you stay tuned through this whole book, you're going to learn a huge lot of tools that's in this book as we discuss them. And then it's going to lead to better conversation during our meetings. And the more we're involved, the better we are off all on the same page and having different experiences. Hey, I experienced this out of the book. I tried that. This worked for me. That didn't work for, it just makes good, healthy recovery group conversations. In order to understand relapse, it is necessary to understand addictive disease. People often fail to recover because they don't understand their addiction, or they fail to do the things that could help them avoid relapse. Erroneous information about the nature of addiction is responsible for much improper and incomplete treatment that leads to relapse. Adrian in the house. Good to see you.
Ooh, speaking of meetings, are we Zooming afterwards?
Yes,
Dad?
there is going to be a late night Zoom.
Okay, Laura says, I've been sober for the past 4 years, but on and off, mostly off for the last 25 and find it right now. Mother Nature is a great tool and it's free and it's yours and it's from the universe. It's amazing. If you can connect with Mother Nature, it will help you stay sober, in my opinion, and I've tried a lot. God bless, stay safe, and just don't drink.
Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks for being here. So true.
Oh, more?
No, what?
Brad says, love this book. Jumped ahead a little bit. Ha ha ha. Only about 15 pages, but it's awesome. Glad you're going over it now. I love it.
Yeah, I think I've told you all in my relapse prevention program that I had to write and read to my group when I was in my IOP. A part of it was reading a new book every couple months, right? And this book is one of them that I've read over since then, and it's by far my favorite. This is my third time. I've gone through it already once on the live stream. This is my second time on the live stream, and I've read it a different time as well. So this is my third time through the book. One of my favorites. It's not. So we're putting together recovery packages that are coming soon, and we'll show you those later. But this book is going to be a part of that package. And then when Recovering Addict is local here and tangible with a building, that's what our niche is going to be. We're going to offer free instant support to those who are trying to get into a rehab, right? We could be called rehab preparation until you get your money and your insurance figured out. And then you go through your program, 30, 60, 90-day program. And then what, right? You come to us, and then we continue on with the book like this and some other education. We want to broaden it into education of maybe public speaking, learning how to do pottery, learning how to use computers, just this education center for help people communicate and get back into healthy environments around a bunch of like-minded, loving people. Yes, they always need a coat, Linky.
If you want something done, well, do it yourself.
I knew that was coming.
Leak Tie Weaver.
Do it yourself.
That's a proverb.
Welcome back, Jeffrey.
Yeah, there
Glad
he is.
you're here, man.
Yeah, I've been talking to him on Messenger.
Rachel says, I started to figure out what my main problem is, which is my thoughts that I use excuses to use.
Oh, absolutely. Self-justification is one of the character defects we talk about. We have to over-explain ourselves, and we're really just trying to make ourselves feel better about the explanation, not really the person we're trying to sell this to. And then we're mainly telling the excuse to ourselves, right? I got to use it because of that. Well, I need it because of this. And if I don't have it, I won't be able to do that. And yeah, I get you.
Adrian loves your glasses.
Thank you.
But then she laughed. So do you?
Ha! Love your glasses. Ha!
So I started a book art every time. I feel like I open it, draw till my cravings go away. Just started it the night I seen your channel.
Beautiful tool.
Very cool. Yeah, we want to do like pottery stuff and art things because not everybody likes working out.
Every time I
Everybody's
feel
got a
like
different
using, I'm going to
thing.
go draw until it goes away.
Yeah. Awesome.
Great way to use this too shall pass. Yeah, like what Felice was saying, we're going to have art in our building here in Utah.
Christopher says, first thing I did at detox is rearrange my bookshelf and put all the positive books next to my bed.
Nice.
Ask PD what his gratitude book is. It's pretty awesome.
Petey's got a sick
He's
gratitude
got the
book.
best gratitude book I think I've ever seen.
That's awesome. And that's changing everything. I love that what Chris said. He's filling the void with positivity, man. Positivity is a huge thing. Us addicts are always in the dumps, depressed, low self-esteem, feelings of inferiority. But then to start feeding yourself with positivity, you get around people who are going to compliment you and see the real you and placing things because this is obvious. He understands that what you put in your eyes and your ears is what's going to affect, right? That's what bleeds down to the heart. And then from the heart is what comes out in your actions. So good job, Chris.
Very cool. He says, no more excuses.
No more.
Teeter
Love it.
likes arts and crafts. Do it, Teeter. Send us a picture.
Yeah, draw us a picture, y'all. Draw us and send them recoveringaddict8@gmail.com.
Adrian pushing my glasses up while writing that comment. Brad says, I told myself a few weeks ago the only reason to use is to get high. The reason not to use, number in the millions. That's true.
Yeah.
Millions of reasons why not to use.
I can't remember who we were on Discord, or we were on a Zoom meeting the other day, and I was like, why don't you just real quick off the top of your head do a pros and cons list? And it turned into a 20-minute con list. Like there was one pro and then a 20-minute con list, and we forgot we even said it. And then 20 minutes later, I remembered. I was like, hey, that was a pretty freaking long con list. And it's like, whoa, yeah, it is. The cons go forever and ever and ever.
Rachel says, that's what I want to do is open a community center with different things, art, music, barbering, tattoos, just
Yeah,
everything
good
so people
idea.
can go to, so they don't use.
Yeah,
Claiborne,
that's what we're talking about. Yeah, where's Claiborne?
where's my barber? Jeffrey says, I love when you talk about relapse since every relapse has been difficult, but I don't know anything, but I am really happy I made it back.
I'm dude.
We are too, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it back. You're alive. Number one, you made it back alive. You know that you've heard people say, I've got one more relapse in me, but I don't think I have another recovery or something like that.
Yeah.
Meaning that you could possibly die, you know. So praise God you're alive.
Careful, Teeter. You're giving Alan permission to use paintball guns
Yes.
in Tent City.
Oh, I would love to see that. Next fundraiser, Teeter being shot with a paintball gun.
It's happening. Christopher started painting. He says it's calming.
I love painting. Let me show you guys a painting I did because I'm really proud of it.
Staying Sober by Terence Gorski. He did a good job.
I painted that picture. See my little beautiful birds.
Aww. Talent.
My little happy accident down here. I accidentally drew a little spider right there. A Bob Ross, this bad boy. Teeter said, no shooting Teeter.
Shooting Teeter. Shooting Teeter.
Balance, right, Jeffrey? That's a good one. And if you're here and you're still watching, join us in the Discord. Fleece will drop that link. That's where we have we drop all our Zoom meetings. Like right after this meeting here, after this little live stream, there's going to be a Zoom meeting. You jump in, hang out, chit chat, talk, and love on each other.
Brad says, public service announcement. If you send LT a drawing, he will forget it, use it as a Discord thumbnail, and then swear he doesn't know anything about it.
Sounds about right.
Never sent me one.
I still don't know what he's talking about.
Apparently used as a thumbnail.
So Brad says.
I'm happy to be here because instead of using, I made the decision to not use and instead be a part of this channel and be a part of our Discord. I
Awesome,
dropped that
Rachel.
link. I'll drop it again. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn.
What? Love it. Make it the next thing to win. Love this. Love the painting.
Raffle off this thing?
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Woody. Don't think so.
How much would you pay for a Bob Ross painting?
Priceless.
Double it.
Double it. And add 10 zeros to the end.
That would be kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
Send that to somebody. I don't know if I could part with that. That's tough, man. I don't know why I like that picture so much.
It's your first one.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. That would be a fun one. Oh, yeah. And speaking of fundraisers, we are having that talent show at the end of the month. I have sent an email out to the talents in the show. We're going to coordinate and then get with Teeter. Teeter, the tickets are on sale, and that's Teeter's department. Thank you, Marilyn.
Teeter.
It's a $5 donation, and the donation is going to the Whitney Project. And so it's minimum $5, and you get the link to the talent show. You come to the talent show, you'll be able to watch, vote. The winners are going to win money. Thank you to Michael Teeter for putting that up. But it should be fun. It'll be fun. It's going to be an unlisted show, so you won't be able to find it live. You'll have to donate $5 to the Whitney Project. Her sister died of a heroin overdose. She's out in New York trying to start her own facility out there and help people get and stay sober. She's really amazing. She's been on the show. And so we're going to send her that money that we donate to help her in her cause with starting a facility. We love what she's doing, and anybody out there trying to build and do recovery things, we want to be a part of it and help in any way we can. So please reach out. We can it. and LT might disappear. Value will go through the roof. That's true. Artists don't make money till they're dead. Thank you, Marilyn. I pay better. He says probably. Not sure what the Discord is, but I just downloaded it. Sweet.
Very cool.
Well, let me show y'all what Discord is. Okay. I'm going to share my screen, and I will give everybody a quick lesson on what Discord is. It's
I'll drop the link
pretty awesome.
one more time.
Now,
If that link works, should.
is it Sharon?
Uh,
Put me up. This is the Discord, okay? To this left-hand side over here is the whole structure organized. You got information, you pop into here. It's going to show you our whole schedule with the links that go with it. You're going to see a cool little thing that shows I'm a peer support specialist. Here are the rules. Sorry, excuse me. But here's the rules. You know, keep it clean, no hateful, everybody love each other type stuff. There's rules, and then here's a place if you want. You can drop an introduction of yourself. Hangout and Support is a cool channel. You can go in there and chit chat. Here is what is called the main text. This is where everybody talks. This is where you will see, as you can see here, links dropped for the Zoom, and this is where you will find the Zoom meeting for the after the show. You like video games? We talk about them in here. You like sports? We talk about them in here. You like memes and jokes? Here they are, right? Arts and photos. Everybody that likes to do arts and photos or any types of pictures, they drop them in here. Then you got selfies. Then you got, oh, look at that old picture of the family. There's Felice.
hey, look how skinny and young I was.
That was like 7 years ago.
Look at Billy.
That was
You're
Link
so
before his
tiny.
accident right here. Look at that big old plate of food.
Yeah, pancakes. That was breakfast for dinner.
In here you find music, then you got recovery content, then you got more memes. It's funny stuff, you know. Down here, if you need support, jump in here and say I need support. We'll drop a meeting. Prayer requests, gratitude room. In here it says recovery. You notice that? Recovering addicts, all the social media that we do. Here's the class and homework that I drop on our Mondays and Wednesdays. Here's the links you can always find to scheduled Zooms. If you comment something in here, I'll bring it up on the live stream. If you want to be on Jake's live stream, you jump in here on Thursday and let him know, and he'll pull you on his channel Thursday. All of our YouTube videos drop here, every single one of them. And that's pretty much it. So you come to the main chat, you say what's up to everybody, and 24 hours a day, you just jump on in here and say hello. That's Discord.
There you go. Discord in a nutshell. So click the link and join us.
Hey, Jeff, if you're so good, Teeter, good point. I like what Teeter says here. Since you're so good at painting, you should do a quick painting on the live or on the talent show. That would be cool.
Yeah, do it. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, love you, Hump. Yeah, it is pretty cool, brother. It's just, you know, like we talk about local AAs, and you know, it's just my opinion. I've read a lot. I'm passionate about it, but at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. I suggest you go get help at a therapy and locally, you know, get involved with your people locally. And here we are, a great supplement. We're recovery in your pocket 24 hours a day. You have no more excuse that you cannot reach out. If you are struggling and you say, I couldn't reach out because nobody was there to reach out to, flat lie. Right now, you have just met over 500 people that are there for you. Anytime you just throw it out there, I'm struggling. And that's what we want to be here, to help with those excuses, right? And you really just don't need to just get a piece of paper and a pencil and just start drawing. You can win $100. Yeah, like Peter said. Come here, kids.
You know what time it is?
Millie.
Mail time. Is that Blue's Clues?
Ready? God, grant me the serenity
to accept the things
I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Oh, you missed it.
Amen.
You
gotta be working your program.
Now you can. I love it. 24 hours a day. We got recovery in your pocket. Recovering addict. We are thankful for you, Alish, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10. I'll text you as soon as I'm done here. We got some pitches. All right. Oh, we already did it.
We did it again.
We will be back Sunday night going through this, picking up in chapter 2. Until then, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your programs, and remember,
We recover better together.